Ooh, are we doing 600 today? It will require 5 rounds. I'm not sure. Gonna be close. Gonna turn down the music slightly. As always. Actually, it's a bit quiet. As always, playing with game sounds on. Gonna make sure that's going into the VOD. Right. Just to confirm I'm playing it. A steady 60 frames per second and not doing anything underhanded with the roulette. And as always, the hardest match of arcade sets are always the first match, pretty much, in terms of the roulette being slightly rigged against you. Very slightly rigged. So the roulette spins and the default stop is 2 squares right of where it starts. It's a beauty. Beauties are set free. It's I think it's Becky guaranteed. Ooh, do I have the... Thanks, guys. It's this file, isn't it? Please work. I didn't test this. Okay, it's still working. It looks like a relatively straightforward game. Assuming it is set free, which I think it is. I can handle Weasel with... Floatzel with Outrage. Weezing comes out... I think Weezing coming out and being hit by explosion is fine. If it explodes, it's fine. And then Bastiodon 3 is actually not something I want to see last. So perhaps I am going Blissey at the start. Because of Bastiodon. I want Garchomp alive with Bastiodon. And Weezing will come out before Bastiodon if Milo kills it. So the tricky part is then making sure that Blissey isn't out when Bastiodon comes out. Because that would let Bastiodon get double team boosts in. Looks like sleep. I might go for this. Rain is okay for me, because Rain boosts Suicune's power against Bastiodon. Which might matter. Actually, I'm going to aim for the burn square on the enemy. I think it's better. I was late. That's fine. Yeah, but we're already going Blissey. I can't stay in with Garchomp because if Weezing explodes on Garchomp, I can lose to Bastiodon. And I have to use Outrage if I want to kill Floatzel anyway. If this freezes, I'll go Suicune. I don't need Suicune in this fight, which is a nice safety net. Okay. No drop, no special defense drop. There's a special defense drop. It would have been much easier to win if I'd burned them. There is no doubt about that. Being at -1 SPDF for Weezing is actually also quite annoying. Got one last chance to be annoying Floatzel by critting this. I would live, but it would take a while. Okay. Got another drop. I'm actually going to go Suicune. Should always be Weezing. If Weezing explodes, that's fine. Actually, I want to make sure I'm dead if it does explode. But it's fine. I mean, it would just Iron Head anyway. Think about what the best thing to do is. I think the best thing to do probably is to make sure it's low enough to die to Surf and then go Suicune probably. But do I want to risk Suicune being crit like that by explosion on the switch? It's not too bad. I would still win then. It's quite likely to explode now. I might just wait for explosion to happen. It's actually quite convenient for me. Yeah, there we go. So the reason this is convenient is it means that I can get Garchomp in before double team happens. Battling fair and square doesn't appeal to me. I'd rather win. Okay. The fisherman? Tricky team. Tricky team because it's difficult to play against Lapras. I'm not doing team swap at 1k, to be clear. Yeah, tricky. They can all have Oko moves, obviously. She's just like me. How do I feel about items? I don't really want them to be lefties. Or I'm not sure if Bright Powder's in or not. I think I'm going for this. The skip. Just a bit worried about. I'm a bit worried about being late onto the, being early. Sorry, onto the Trick Room. Easy. Okay. Actually, because I skipped that, I need to restart the wind tracker. Okay. Suicune is actually. The real question here is if I actually need Garchomp later. It just gets skipped. I hope I can skip Battle 999. That would be funny. I don't need Garchomp later, but I would like it. I'm a little bit aware of Regigigas 4. I need to take a second because I'm so Gen 3 brained at the moment. Need to actually look at these sets. The biggest risk would be Suicune 4 if I try and switch out. Because Suicune 4 could Ice Beam freeze and then start Calm Mining. Obviously I can switch if it Ice Beam freezes, but it's not great for me. I'm thinking that Blissey is not that important though in this match. I think I probably am switching to Blissey. That's me burned. Oh, this is not a good board actually. I'm gonna go for this. Okay, good. That was a horrible board. There were some really nasty squares. There was random on the third row here. There was random. There was team swap somewhere up here. The default was me getting burned. To be honest, maybe I should have just taken the burn. I go Blissey on Suicune. I'm just thinking if I take the burn, take the time off to aromatherapy. I don't know how I feel about that. Suicune 2. Suicune 2 feels like a setup opportunity for my Suicune. But let's go up to full first. The important breakpoint is definitely +2 for the Regirock kill. I don't want to be too low, but at the same time, the boosts do matter in case Regigigas 1 or 3 come out, as they will beat Regirock out. Who is it? Regirock 2 is guaranteed to beat everything because it's got a super effective move. But Regigigas comes in, so it's not Regirock 2. It probably is Regigigas 1 or 3. But 4 does quite well as well on the damage comparisons. If it's not 1 or 3, it can't be Regirock 4 either, as Explosion would win. How important is Suicune for beating Regirock? Not actually that important. I know it's not Regirock 2. So not that important. If it could be Regirock 2, I'd be worried about losing Suicune and only having Garchomp. Okay, it's Regirock 3. That makes sense. So Regigigas 3, not Regirock. No paralysis. That's game over. The tiny chance disappeared. It's a set 4 trainer. And these guys are pretty sad without their items. Pretty hard to imagine losing. I could lose if I get burned, I guess. Maybe. I really want to dodge that. I'd rather be asleep and have that. I'm considering this row there. This row looks pretty good. Okay. Don't think the level up makes any difference at all. I guess it means I can Earthquake Kang. Marowak with no Fit Club is a very sad Pokemon. Hey, Jeep. Absol 4 without its choice band is also a very, very sad Pokemon. More set 4? It's very difficult to see Tangrowth and not think of the Pacopia Professor. Very difficult to not connect those two. So because it's a 21 IV Salamence, I'm fine. The Tangrowth is annoying, but Flareon is easily beaten by Garchomp and Suicune. So it's just about making sure Tangrowth doesn't do something outrageous. And it can't really. It's going to have a chance to... No, it'll be Flareon and before Tangrowth, actually, because of Giga Impact. So I think I'm fine. It's a little bit uncomfortable. I'm just thinking Tangrowth could crit Suicune and Blissey. It is possible. Flareon would also have to crit Garchomp in that case. Didn't catch if it started on this one or this one, but they're both burn on the enemy. If Tangrowth is burned, I really can't lose. I could speed up the automatic stop roulette. I just feel like I shouldn't touch the speed up button on the roulette, though. I just feel like it's the opposite of cheating. It would make it harder to stop, but I just feel like the roulette should be played at ×1 speed. Always. Simpler that way. I mean, if I Swords Dance here, I could lose, I guess. Potentially possible. Flareon would have to be unbelievably strong, though. It's a 2-turner. Nice crit. No, the pressing speed up wouldn't change. Speed up just changes how fast the game displays frames. It wouldn't actually change the automatic stop. Yeah. Yeah, there's also a board speed up tile which does change the speed up. The roulette board goes twice as fast if you press that. It's more set 4. It's a little bit harder, this one, actually. I want to be aware of... I'm not sure if I kill Miltank at +2 with Earthquake or not. So 21 IV set, I probably do. Probably do. Oh, sorry. So if I pick speed up, it's 1 row below the start. If I pick speed down, it's 1 row above the start. It's just the way that the frames line up. So yes, it does change it. Was here? Is that automatic skip? Was it here or here? Anyway. The fact I'm not sure, I might want to go for this. Oh. Yeah, I wonder if that link works if you're not in Discord. I don't know. I hope it does. Okay, cool. Because it's steak and burn chip, I'm not worried about this not killing. Basically, at max roulette speed, it goes through each tile on one frame. In 30 seconds, there are 900 frames. And if you divide 900 by the number of squared, which is 16, the remainder is 4. So it goes 4 from when it started. And it's the same calculation with 450. You get 448, and then the 2 remainders are behind. Pretty sure it's a scientist. Wait, someone else shares this model. It's not breeders, is it? I'm pretty sure it's a scientist. Miltank Monday. Let's hope for it. Miltank is a pretty good matchup for my team. There are rich boys, but they're not in endgame frontier. They're set to... Well, technically speaking, they're tier 5. You only get tier 7 and 8 trainers this late. I'm pretty sure it's... Or maybe it's... I'm pretty sure it's a scientist. Scientist would be set to. Anyway, I'm pretty safe here. I'm pretty safe here. With their items, these 3 could be problems, but without them, it feels difficult to lose. I might actually aim for this square. I don't want to give them an item. Okay, I'm doing quite well on the roulette today. Unfortunately, that was... it's, can't remember his name. It is a scientist. Owen. Oh dear, fraud moment. Anyway, it's Miltank 2. Nice crit. Do you ever play 12 set Hall on a suboptimal Pokemon? A long time ago I was doing Aaron. Aaron Hall. No facade glitch. It is sad, yeah. Maybe one day Aaron Hall will return. But that was 17 Aarons. Beavries. I learned some Beavries lore today, watching the Beavries Nighthawk podcast. So Nostalgic Nighthawk on YouTube. And apparently Beavries is like, it's kind of a Dutch way of saying freeze. And I learned something today. To be clear, I'm not complaining, but I really thought this run would be over by now. I was hoping I would get past Williams, obviously. I was hoping. I was not expecting to reach 500. But I am now kind of aware that I'm probably never getting this far in Arcade again. Which paradoxically means I am starting to care more and more about the run. Just where this might be my one chance to get 1k. But I don't wanna choke it at the same time. I don't want to just abandon it. Because obviously if I don't play it, I can't lose. Emotionally, it's quite easy to abandon streaks. This is a set 4 trainer. But Empoleon 4 without an item is a pretty sad sight. I can't spell. Pretty hard to lose this one. Team swap would do it. Let's not do that. I'm pretty sure it started here, which is Sandstorm. Which is lucky because this is a pretty horrendous board. Like otherwise I'd be going for level up or burn on them. I could also go for these two. I could actually be frozen and be fine. The really bad square here is actually this one. This is item. So if I pick this, I could get a choice band or a choice specs or a choice scarf. And then I can't swap moves on Suicune and Blissey and it's a disaster. I still think it's unlikely. I feel like 1k is unlikely. This team is... I actually forgot what I lost to before. I'm something like 794-1 win-loss with this team. But that's an overperformance. It's the woman next door, it's Europa. Europa has a horrible neighbor. I can actually Swords Dance. I didn't really think about it yet, but I'm not at risk of anything. Even if Flash Cannon crits, it won't kill me. It's one of those Garchomp OP moments. I was also thinking a week or two ago, I was like, what if Garchomp was in Gen 3? I was like, that would be so disgusting. Can you imagine leading, even without access to the physical Dragon Stab, can you imagine leading Garchomp in doubles in Gen 3? Alright. I'm caught between saying this is completely free and not. I think it's completely free. It's so funny. I was typing this team in, so it displays on the right. And I typed Rapidash, and my fingers like auto-typed Rapidash free. I had to delete it. I'm so used to typing in the enemy. Oh yeah, that's another aspect. I mean, but if Garchomp was in Gen 3, the Gen 3 Garchomp sets would have no speed or something. It was one of these, which means it's one of these. I can actually lose if I'm paralyzed. But I'm pretty sure it was this, which is Sandstorm, which is good for me. I could actually go here. Trick Room is a little bit spooky. Rapidash 3 could hit 2 Horn Drills. Problem with going here is that Suicune doesn't Oko Rapidash 3 with Surf. Special Garchomp. Had more fun than Gen 3 or than... I think the Gen 4 Frontier is better. I just think it's a more... I feel like they learned enough from what didn't work in Gen 3. Some of the frustrations that people had. Just wish there were a few more facilities in Gen 4. I like both Frontiers, to be clear. it's actually interesting. It is interesting that Gen 3 has like the Dome IV glitch and stuff. It makes it more interesting. If Gen 3 had no glitches, I think it would be pretty bad. Yeah. Part of the news today, I don't know if anyone's in the Discord, but there was a new Pike glitch discovered. Another one. In the way that rooms are generated. Which unfortunately means my video is outdated, but it is actually quite interesting in terms of what it means for strategy. Oh yeah, I was thinking about that today, Altissimo. To be honest, it's a lot of things like the site is correct, but sometimes I was looking, it's like if someone reads this, it's just not going to mean anything to them. I mean, maybe it does. Maybe I'm underestimating the intelligence of people who actually look up this stuff in 2026, which is going to be fairly higher than just random people. I think the Frontier Brain showing up again and again in Gen 3 is... I think it's cool in Factory. In the other facilities, I feel like it's a bit lame because you probably have a team that is got a guaranteed win into them if you're on a serious streak. Like, you probably have a guaranteed win into Annabelle in Tower. Yeah, I feel like they should probably only show up twice. I can do clickbait, that is true. Now, this is a breeder, right? There are now other sprites that look like that. It matters because Metagross 4 was a little bit of a spooky Pokemon. Yeah, I think for the Pike, I'm going to run Heracross. Unless I have a better idea. God, there's a lot of team swap squares here. Luckily, it's ending on Hail automatically, which I can take. Yeah, so unless I have a better idea, I think in Pike I'm going to start running Heracross. I'm really caught between Heracross and Flygon. But after the discovery about the differences in the Pike, I think I'm going to start using Rest Choice Band Heracross. So I can easily waste moves. So Latios can use Psychic and Wild to Viper, so it can become healed. Latios is technically damaged if it loses a PP. Heracross can use Rest and then get Aromatherapied. It's now used a Rest PP and can be healed. And Blissey obviously uses up PP aromatherapying. So I think it's... I prefer that, I think. And also Taurus is a little bit disappointing. Okay, enough. Enough talking about Gen 3. It's Tyron. I haven't actually decided on what I want to do. So there's a few problems here. Mash can crit Garchomp. If I switch, it can explode. I think I'm switching to Suicune, though. It's difficult to imagine me losing if Garchomp is still alive after Metagross dies. He could get a Meteor Mash attack boost into a Zen Headbutt crit. And with 2 turns of Hail, would that kill? Probably not. However, I can still surf. I just need to do a bit of damage so that Garchomp kills this. Does it ever backfire if I kill this now? I don't think so. Just means that something's taking Hail. Drag it out, of course, always uses the Garchomp unless I misclick. More set 4. More campers. It matters quite a lot what the ability on Arcanine is. I do not like Hippowdon being in the back. It's actually very annoying because Garchomp is going to come in after Arcanine. Like, I don't mind staying in for Arcanine on turn 1 before potentially switching out, but I don't want to get burned by Flare Blitz. So I probably do have to go straight to Suicune, and unfortunately, Arcanine 4 has a real chance against Suicune. Not a lot of Thunderfang luck needed. I could potentially go Blissey and make Arcanine take a load of recoil on Flare Blitz. It's going to Flare Blitz twice. So it just eats like 110 damage in recoil. Then I can go Garchomp and Earthquake. The enemy Garchomp comes out, I Outrage. And then Outrage Surf kills Hippo. So I think I'm probably just doing that. I think I'm just going to let Blissey die. I think I'm missing anything there. There's no items. Okay. I can't let it be Fog. That would be a disaster. Ooh, this is not a good one. HP down is okay. I can take that. I'm going to go for the second row. HP down is okay. Okay, that's fine. Even if it's Citrus, that's fine, because Garchomp's Outrage won't activate Citrus on Hippo. Salac. Does Salac activate on Arcanine? I don't think it does. It's a 21 IV Arcanine. That's 160 HP. It takes 110. That's not over 75%. Hippowdon could get the Salac, but Hippowdon's too slow. Don't think this matters. It might be possible for Blissey to survive both Adamant, Flare Blitz. Hopefully this isn't Intimidate. It's not Intimidate, so none of that matters. Okay. I probably want to sacrifice Blissey because I do not want... yeah, sacrifice Blissey, I think. Of all the berries to give them, actually, Salac probably was the scariest in terms of making me think about it. It's a worker. I don't like facing workers. Luckily, that's a pretty innocent set of Pokemon. Pretty innocent. I'd have to be burned, or even if I'm burned, I'm going to win. Sleep. Let me get a link for you. 1 second. So it's that. It's also in the Discord. Essentially, to explain the Pike glitch quickly. So, the Pike has different rooms it generates. And when you go into a room, the hint for the next room will show. If healing is disabled, which means all your Pokemon are full health. It's impossible for you to get healed. What happens is the Pike is meant to turn off healing rooms. Now, it does turn off healing rooms, but it also changes the count. And because it changes the count and skips over the healing rooms, what it does is it doesn't ever hint at, what was it, doubles and... I forgot on the other one. Is it wild? I remember. It doesn't hint at the last two, which means that when you get the hint for a healing room, it tells you exactly what that room is going to be. Tells you maybe a single battle. Maybe it means that wild is guaranteed. Yeah. But it has another consequence as well, which means that if your team is fully healed, the odds of getting a hint, you are 50% to get the hint for presence of people. And you are then... is it 50%? Yeah. And then you are 16.7% to get the hint for the others. Which is just... It's just really weird. It makes the Pike much more deterministic when you are healed, but it also means that you're more likely to generate that single battle presence of people hint, which is really bad. That's the one you want to avoid. Which indirectly means if you're trying to dodge that, which most strategies do, you're more likely to get randomly statused. So yeah, it's a bit rough. Thank you for using Sandstorm. How did that break? I thought Eligible couldn't break the sub. Yeah, it lived. Pike clickbait. It's fine. Just put Lucy on the thumbnail. Yeah. Unfortunately, boys, this guy killed me in tower. He killed the 2000 tower single streak. Reporter's electric and psychic. There's something I've learned about myself is that I can't spell this late into the evening. Well, I can spell, but my fingers just give up on doing the keys in the correct order. No Shuckerberry to worry about. This looks pretty free. Pretty free. Need to be a little bit careful about Slowbro 1. That's it. Was that this one or this one? Doesn't matter, because that's Sandstorm or Sleep respectively. It's a very, very nice board actually. There's several places I could go for. This is a pretty nice string of stops. So is this. But there's no reason to stop it. In fact, Sandstorm might be the best tile to make sure that Slowbro 1 doesn't do anything. I'm actually not going to substitute against Electivire in case I need to survive a +2 Surf, which is something that could potentially happen with Yawn. There's a chance that Jolteon comes out. Jolteon 4 can win. Slowbro 2 and 4 have an ice move and therefore are guaranteed to be sent in second if they exist. Okay, so it probably is an ice Slowbro. Yeah. Not a surprise. And Jolteon has no way of setting up in a meaningful way that can affect Garchomp. Oh dear. Tricky one. I don't want Garchomp to die before Empoleon is out, but thanks, Melis. I am Hidden Power Electric for a reason, and that reason is pretty much Empoleon and Gyarados. Empoleon not being the main reason, but being part of the reason. I'm just thinking about Metagross 3. It's always what comes to mind when it's random set Metagross, because Metagross 3 I could switch to Suicune, get frozen, and I can switch to Blissey, yes, but Thunder Punch into Hammer Arm can kill Blissey, and Blissey is faster, but Thunder Punch can freeze. So I would then have to go back to Suicune. Honestly, if I was frozen, I might go Garchomp and then go Blissey. I'm not sure how I feel about that, though, because Hammer Arm is possible to be selected. The Hammer Arm AI is a bit weird. If Metagross is slower, it's always got a chance at using Hammer Arm. Unless another move kills. No event. This is a bit tempting, but Trick Room would be a disaster. And HP down would be pretty nasty as well. Probably best to let it go on blank. Take our luck. Good thing about this is that Skarmory can't win. Unless Suicune dies. There might actually be a big reason to keep Suicune alive. I'm considering keeping Garchomp in. Because if it is Metagross 3, I can just surf after I Earthquake. What is just a little bit difficult about that is that Empoleon could easily be physical or special, and I won't know which one. But I think I'm going to stay in. I'm going to stay in. It's only bad against Metagross 3. Or, I mean, Metagross 1 and 4 can crit as well, but hopefully it's Metagross 2. Okay. That is very much game over. It's even Empoleon in next. Actually just going to Outrage. In case you crit me just like that. And Surf is stronger than Hidden Power Electric, even if Hidden Power Electric is super effective, because Surf is effectively 142 base power with Stab. Hidden Power Electric super effective is 140. It is the kind of thing that is very unlikely to ever matter, though. So, am I on track for 600? Actually going quite fast. It's a guitarist, but it's a set 4 guitarist because they have Pokemon which are not electric or ghost. Which is very good to know. It's good to know that this is Starmie 4, basically. It's also good to know that it's Machamp 4. Feel a little bit sorry for the arcade trainers. They never get to stop the roulette. I always get to stop it. Is that Cecil or not Cecil? We're about to find out. It's one of these two. I think it's HP. It actually doesn't matter which one it is. Both of them lead to a very easy win. Because I don't have to switch out against Starmie. So the guitarists, the 31 IVs are Iggy and Roget. And then 21 IV set 4 is Tobias and Cecil. So it's Cecil. It's not. If I kill this, Jolteon comes in. Hyper Beam scores higher than Cross Chop. I'm just thinking if I 2-turn Outrage, can I lose? Because I can just switch to Blissey. I think it's fine. Does Outrage Surf always kill? Probably not, but Surf... I get 2 Surfs because it hasn't got a Quick Claw in the arcade. So I can just Outrage. Knowing trainers and their quotes. Far more important than actually playing the game. Yeah, the reason Jolteon comes out second is because the way the Gen 4 Switch AI works is that Starmie attempts to use all the moves that Jolteon has and all the moves Machamp has to see which one does the most damage against Garchomp. And when it does that check, the one that's going to do the most damage is Hyper Beam. Because obviously Starmie using Cross Chop won't do much against Garchomp. That's why Jolteon comes out and not Machamp. If Machamp had, for example, Ice Punch, it would skip that part of the check and just see that there's a super effective move and go Machamp first. Do you mean Control F? There is this. One second. Where is it? There is this. Yeah, it's Mosite, yeah. You might like that. The chick. It's a hiker. That is a little bit scary. Donphan is on the list of enemies. Donphan is a villain. Luckily, Rampardos and Probopass are the useless evil henchmen who do nothing. How do I lose? Donphan can do a lot of damage, but because I don't mind Garchomp fainting, I can just let Garchomp die to it. It's over. It's over. HP down? I don't think so. This is a very nice set of squares from here to here. Actually to here. Actually to here. I'm just going to go for the third row. That might be the longest list of squares that are good for the player I've ever seen on the roulette. You probably want to use Mo's website. Obviously, up to you. Up to you what you use, but I would guess. Bum, bum, bum. So Psychic with a bit of an ugly team. I'm a little bit worried about Trick Room here. I'm going to have to play this in a way that I don't lose to Latios 1 doing some cheese under Trick Room. Should be generally fine apart from that. What I've got to be a little bit careful of as well is that if Blissey is quite badly damaged, then Alakazam 4 could finish it off with Focus Blast later on. And then I could be a little bit exposed to Latios, but that doesn't seem very likely. I should be able to T-Wave Slowbro and then use Calm Mind on Suicune. It looks like it's automatically stopping on Trick Room, which is not good. Oh, I don't want to level them up. This is a little bit ugly. Oh no. I also don't want Sun. I'm going to aim for these two at the top. The poison squares. I took too long to decide. No. That was a really tricky one though. There were a lot of bad squares there. Luckily, Trick Room is actually much better for me than certain other squares which I would have been risking, like Level Up. Just wondering, the fact that it's already Trick Room, shall I go Suicune or Blissey first? Blissey is the more important Pokemon. Oh, I totally forgot to enter the enemies. Suicune is not that important in this game. I'm a tiny bit worried about switching Suicune into Calm Mind. Potentially even worse, switching Suicune into Yawn. But it should take too long to kill Suicune. I might regret this. Okay. It's 75. I'm trying to decide whether or not that's potentially... 3 and 4 are both modest. No, 4 is quiet because it's Trick Room. It's not 1. I think 3 and 4 have identical damage. It has to be 3. Forward Ice Beam. It's okay if this crits. Yeah, it can't be 4. Early-ish defense. How to play this correctly. Because I'm risking Signal Beam and potentially risking Burn on Suicune on the setup. I mean, I kind of wanted to eat the Flamethrower or Signal Beam. I can just stay in. Problem with that is that 270 is definitely going to be Focus Blast crit range. Okay, I don't want to come back to Blissey now. So I don't want to be taking damage. The reason I'm using Rest so early is because of potential Signal Beam confuses. Okay. I'm never going to get set up more than this. Blissey's at full. I won't get better than this. It's almost certainly... Actually, it is certain. Not Latios 2, I believe. Yeah. So you're going to crit that, or am I going to win? You're good. I no longer have to use Outrage on this, that means. Should guarantee the win. Even if that one crit. I would have got the paralysis onto Alakazam with Blissey. No, Trick Room only lasts. Well, it's actually 5 turns. So it's a bit like on turn 0, Trick Room was used. The other weather effects are permanent. I'm not actually sure in the code what happens to trigger that stuff. In a technical sense. Guitarist? Now, this probably is Iggy or Rogette. Because all of these are either Ghost or Electric. And Rogette and Iggy are any set 31 IVs, to be clear. Oh, the hail. I'm going to aim for this. Being asleep isn't too bad. Better than hail. I don't want to mess around with Snowcloak, Frostlass. Yes, Rogette. Out of respect for Frostlass 1, which is the only Frostlass faster than me, I'm switching. Blizzard, okay. It's hail, but it's not permanent hail. I'm going to go to Suicune to eat some more of the Blizzard PP. It's only got 4 left. It'll be at 2 left after this. It's guaranteed to use Blizzard's strongest move against Blissey. And now we go to Blissey on the Shadow Ball. And now we go back on the Blizzard if it gets used. Okay, good. It's out of Blizzards now. I might be dead to a crit Shadow Ball, but this is the best time to potentially use Rest. It's going to Psychic guaranteed. It's just tricky with the Shadow Ball special defense drops, and the fact that Shadow Ball crit would do a bit over half. Psychic, of course, can also drop special defense. Yeah, there's the crit. I'm gonna have to play this a bit slower. Let's waste some Thunder Waves. So I do this, I need to get rid of all of its Hail PP. It's only got 5. Did I miscount? I did. Just thinking, because this is not actually completely over. Got to think about Mismagius 3 and 4. I might actually want Blissey to be in against those. I think I do. Obviously, if Garchomp's alive for Lantern, the game's over. There's no point in setting up Suicune. I'd just be risking the crit where I'm able to fund the way of it. It is Lantern first, okay. Do we want to test out the ability? It's basically free to do so. Okay, it's not Volt Absorb. And it is set free. Fortunately, the Hydro Pump Thunder is going to be random if it's not raining, and if it is raining, it's going to be always Hydro Pump. In other words, difficult to get Garchomp in. How am I killing a Rotom ever? You definitely want to do Electric first. And I'm not sure what you do second, but you'd want to do the biggest issues as early as possible. So you might end up doing Electric first. And if you do Electric first, you can just, you know, Brave Bird or Pursuit or Steel Wing or something. And then when you do Ghost, you want to try and rest to avoid Rotom. But if you do run into Rotom, you want to do Ghost early so you don't lose as much time. Yeah, the answer is basically either get lucky and don't run into Rotom, or do Electric and Ghost early so that you're facing a very low level Rotom And you win anyway. Now we paralyze you. It's actually Mismagius 2. Okay. It's going to use Perish Song. There we go. Yeah, every Pokemon in the hall has a weakness. Like, Garchomp is probably the best at doing Battle Hall Gold. And Garchomp can lose very easily to, what is it? Slowbro and Weavile. Can't remember if there's another one. So yeah. Pretty much think about what's going to beat you and do those types as early as possible. That is the Hall's strategy. I'm not much of a Hall player though. There are a lot of very good Hall players in the community, and I'm not one of them. This looks like a classic. HP down, actually. That's fine. This is a classic. Do I risk it being Latios free on turn 1? God, they entered them in. Come into them in now. I think I just keep Garchomp alive. I try my best to keep Blissey alive. So that I can Thunderwave Alakazam. I think I'm gonna go Blissey. The worst thing that can happen here is Dragon Dance, which can go on. If it Dragon Dances, it won't win, but I won't be able to Thunderwave Alakazam anymore, and then Alakazam might have a potential way to win with getting a double crit. If there's a Trick Room Bronzong, I can take out Bronzong while Trick Room is still up. And then I'm fastened Alakazam with Garchomp naturally. If it's Alakazam 2 or 4, they'll come out after Latios anyway. Just wondering what happens if I just stay in. I'm dead to Latios 3. Ice Beaming Garchomp, but it's Latios 3. It loses to Blissey. Blissey and Suicune in a 2v2. I'm a little bit nervous about Alakazam critting Suicune again there. So I think no matter what happens, I'm nervous about Alakazam getting a crit. Or 2. So I don't think it makes a difference if I stay in or not. But it's probably a better idea to switch on turn 1. If it's Latios 2, it won't be Bronzong 2. That's another factor here. Which is not actually a good thing. I'd rather that combination than not. Okay. Got one chance to crit me. It's kind of over. You think about this. I can go Garchomp now. I think I'd rather wait. I'll now wait for the Hyper Beam, or did it use 5 Hyper Beams? Or did it use 4? It used 5. It might be better to set up Suicune anyway. Gosh, stop gridding me. I want to be at full. Unfortunately, custom frontiers and most ROM hacks are... they're usually done very poorly. The difficulty is normally not good. There probably are some ROM hacks that have done them well, but unfortunately, even if you do them well, I think people are just going to want to play the canonical frontier. If people designed custom facilities, I think people would be interested in playing that probably, but like just playing the Gen 4 tower, but then there's slightly different sets, I don't think there'll be a lot of interest in that. I'm sure it exists, but I've never seen it done well. Do you have any idea of any facility? To be honest, I don't. I don't have a great idea for a facility. What's wrong with them? It's a bit like saying, you know, if I took the Super Mario ROM and made a new level, like there might be a few people who play it, but I don't think there'll ever be any real interest because people just say, why not just play the original, the actual game that everyone else plays? If I made a totally different game, people might play that, but yeah. If there was like a fan ROM hack in like a more modern gen, or with fan ROM hack mons, and then it had its own frontier with its own facilities and sets of rules, I think that would be more interesting. This is not very interested in playing a slightly different version of the actual frontier. That's really bad. I'm gonna aim for the paralysis at the bottom. A bit early. But yeah, the a lot of fan ROM hacks of Frontier stuff, what they do is they just make the most OP things possible, and it's actually just not very fun. Like the Latios we just saw, there is no timid, calm-minded Latios in Gen 4, and if there was, it would make the Frontier worse. And there is no choice specs Latios in Gen 4, and if there was, it would make the Frontier worse, because it would just limit team building so much. It would make so many losses just feel random. The fact that the enemies have slightly goofy, not max power sets, is part of why streaks are kind of possible, and why it's kind of possible to build teams. It's also why Factory isn't just horrendous. If the Factory sets are all really busted, then it's just rock, paper, scissors. I have a more busted Pokemon than you, and then the enemy comes up with a more busted Pokemon than that, and you just lose. So yeah, I don't really want that to happen. So the only thing that can go wrong is Entei 3 could burn me. I think I'm just going to Earthquake. Okay, GG. And there's a small chance of me losing if that was Raikou first. I would remove the Quick Claw. Quick Claw is the most unfair thing in the Frontier by a long stretch, I feel. Bright Powder, Focus Band, it feels bad to lose them, but at least they don't like ignore a mechanic of the game. Because Quick Claw is like, it doesn't matter if you're at +6 speed and they're at -6 speed and paralyzed. If they activate Quick Claw, they go first. It's just, I don't think it's right. The fact that it's random, but it's also 20%, which is quite likely. I don't like it. I don't love Bright Powder, but at least Bright Powder is only 10%, and it doesn't mess with fundamental mechanics in the game. Like, it's a little bit like having a mini double team, but weaker. In the same way that if you have like a muscle band, you have like a little attack boost. At the same time, if there was no Quick Claw, would the Frontier be boring? Maybe. It's a hard question, but Quick Claw is one that annoys me the most. I don't really want to risk this. I can't risk this. This is bad, this is bad, this is bad. Yeah, I think Sunny Day wouldn't be good for me. Not in this match, because Suicune versus Blaziken might actually happen. Sunny Day wouldn't matter for Staraptor, but it would matter for Blaziken, because I could just Hidden Power Electric Staraptor. Is it Hilda who just rides bike to look at? No, it's Vegeta. Do I have to scout this Poliwrath with Substitute? I'm very, very, very tempted to just go straight to Suicune. Could be hit by Dynamic Punch. I might have to substitute because of Poliwrath 2. Because if I substitute and bulk up, then I can Swords Dance and follow up with an Earthquake. I don't know, maybe I'd rather go Suicune. I mean, there's no good way to play around Poliwrath 2, really. Poliwrath is a villain, it's true. It's Poliwrath 2. Yeah, wow. We'll see what happens. You gonna bulk up? You fool. You've fallen into my trap. I don't actually need another attack boost, so I'd rather attack now, and if I crit, it's a free win. Okay, if you do that, it's also a free win. Silly Vegeta. So we've done a pretty quick 3 sets, actually. It might be quite close on beating 600 today. That's a horrendous team lineup, and it's the first match. Is this the loss? Yeah. It's kind of tricky with the substitute, though, because you'd have to check it on so many moves. Like, I understand why it's not there. This is a really, really bad matchup for me. I'm just thinking about it because it's quite likely that the roulette's going to be bad for me as well. Although Glaceon is a bad lead, I can go Blissey quite easily. So if I get Statist, it probably doesn't change the fight that much. I probably need to set up Suicune on Glaceon. I'm very worried about Glaceon 1 using Double Team and Baton Pass. Particularly because if Suicune is out, then Lapras is a likely Baton Pass receiver. Shedinja is a classic. Luckily, Garchomp can slot in Crunch or Flamethrower or something. I don't know. If it's a bad square for me, it might be cooked. At least Glaceon is leading. If it had been one of the other two leading, that would be really bad. I actually missed what it was. It was one of these two, but Berry and Poison are good for me. I'm considering going for level. However, if I miss level, it's hail. I can't let hail happen. Pretty lucky. I think I'm actually not sure if it was Berry or Poison as the automatic stop. They're both good though. I think it's Berry, yeah. What would be the best? Probably a Lychee. Lychee or Citrus. Lum. Okay, protection from freeze. It's not bad. It's Opal. Surely we wouldn't lose to Opal and her precious coat. I definitely want Garchomp for Lapras. I also want Garchomp if it's Weavile 2 or 3. I'm caught between what to switch to. I think I'd rather go Suicune if it was Glaceon 1, which is the big fear. I do have Lum Rest as well. Ice Beam is no information, of course. Except it crit. It did 75. Oh, that's a lot, isn't it? Perhaps it's not. Perhaps it's not modest. Perhaps it has to be Glaceon 1 or 2. Doesn't make me feel any better. I'm definitely leading off with Calm Mind. I'm expecting Double Team. I think Game Freak just wanted to make Pokemon that were hard to beat. Okay. I'm having a look at the Baton Pass AI. So at +2. At +3, it's no score changed over. Otherwise, God, that's weird. It switches. So at +2, it wants a Baton Pass at low HP. At +3, it wants the Baton Pass more at high HP. No, it always. No, that's not right. It always wants a Baton Pass more at lower HP. Unfortunately, it's incredibly hard for me to dodge that. If it is Glaceon 1, what do I want to do? I might want to just hit it with Surf because it's going to come out later on as well, and I want to make sure that Garchomp isn't too bad into it. On the other hand, if I Calm Mind more, I'm in a better situation against a Lapras. I might use another Calm Mind. Oh, it's going to be so close. Do I Calm Mind surf here, or do I just surf? My intuition says just to serve. Because something that can happen if I don't attack this enough is that it can actually come in later and double seam Baton Pass again. Okay, perfect. It's Glaceon 2. I don't need to worry about that. So because Weavile is such a big threat to Garchomp, I'd rather set up Suicune than set up Garchomp. It's actually not that important if it's hailing when I kill it. It's more important that I'm healthy. I missed everyone. Really rest loop again then. I would really like Lapras to come out. Okay. It's almost certainly going to live. Okay. Do I rest on that? It doesn't really matter. It's interesting that that came out first. Outrage beat. Yes, Outrage beat everything actually. It's not information. What's nice about this is that I've still got Lum Berry on Garchomp, which actually changes how good Garchomp is quite a lot. Means I can stay in on Hypnosis and stuff. I don't like Roughnecks very much. However, this is an easier one. I'll have to go for second row because that's random. Okay. I don't think I can lose. Just imagining the worst possible scenario. That's close to the worst possible scenario. Because Nidoking 3 is faster than me. I just don't want to be dead to Shiftry getting a crit on Suicune, and then Shiftry getting Explosion off. I'm not going to touch this. Just going to Aromatherapy. I want Aromatherapy, or do I want to Soft World? I think Aromatherapy in case Poison. Okay, good. Okay, I'm faster. So it's not Shiftry 1. Shiftry 2, which is a free win for me. I can try and hit the Seismics. Ruin Maniac, that's not good, but that's a pathetic team. This is about as easy as it gets. Outside of like 3 fire types that Garchomp outspeeds and 1 taps. It's sleepy. I don't think I can lose. Sleep. I might as well aim for this though. Don't diss my boy Shuckle. What if it's Shuckle too? Then we could lose. We're going to hammer you, kid. I've got bad news for you. That was a waste of my Lumberry, I'll be honest. He got a moral victory there. I was probably going to use up the Lumberry on Outrage anyway, but... it needs to be dubbed at survival to roasting. True. I don't really want to be frozen, but it's not too bad against Crest, really. It doesn't matter. I might as well go for this, though. Easy. I mean, this was an easy win, but easy. Need to restart. Tell it I won that battle. Clowns are ghosts and psychic. I feel like I faced this exact team. It's quite likely to be a different Pokemon, of course. Is that rain? Rain's okay. Better than nothing. Decent chance that Frost Sash removes the rain anyway. Latios Monday. That's a clown. It's Clown Frank. The athletic clown. As always, we respect a chance it could be Frostas 1. As always, it is not Frostas 1. It's going to use Hail, guaranteed, actually. Because it wants to change the weather. And now we go to Suicune on the next Blizzard. So it's out of Blizzard PP. This is safe as long as I don't get crit right now. Gee, that's too much damage anyway. Hey, Maffy. What is that? What is that game from? Do you not recognize? A Power World ripoff. That's a ripoffception. We could waste Seismic as well. I don't need Seismic PP in this match either. I would like to try and steal a rest on a fully paralyzed turn if possible. Looks like that's not going to happen. It's not that important. What's coming out second? Most certain to be Medicham. Psycho Cut, would Psycho ever lose a matchup lookup score? Frostas still has quite good attack. Special attack is about 1.5 times higher. Always going to be Medicham in second. I never need Blissey for Mismagius. It just would be helpful in case... I guess Mismagius 3 could get really lucky. Multiple crits. Mismagius 4 as well. I don't want to face a D-Bond, last Mon, Mismagius situations. I probably do want to save Blissey. Of course, if I go Garchomp... then it won't be Medicham in second, very likely. I was weighing up whether or not it's better to go for 2 subs, but it hasn't crit. Okay, this is over. It was actually better to double sub there, in case it got a double crit, in case it crit the first struggle attempt. Heracross is another Pokemon I don't like facing on lead. Just think about the safest thing to do against Heracross. Like, I don't want to give it Swarm. I also don't want to give it a chance to attract or swagger. I also don't want to take too many turns out to hit it. But if Heracross crits Garchomp, it's kind of over. And I kind of need Suicune for Sizzle as well. I mean, Garchomp's very good against Sizzle. It's a very dominant matchup. And Blissey's only slower than Sizzle 3. And Sizzle 3 is not adamant. It can't actually beat Garchomp. Well, no, it can't beat Garchomp, I don't think. So I think I just go Suicune on Heracross, since Shuckle doesn't matter. I don't want to be poisoned. Shockingly. Oh, this is a horrible board. She's going to aim up here. I don't mind Trick Room. It's not that bad, actually. Interesting. So I might have given Heracross Guts. But honestly, that doesn't change very much. Hopefully it's a male Heracross, and Heracross 1 hasn't got the option of Attract. I mean, it changes a little bit. If Heracross gets a Guts crit into Suicune, as I switch to it, that is actually very bad. But Sizzle is paralyzed. I'm no longer scared of Sizzle 3 for Blissey. Thanks, Aces. Or Aces Shield. It's very tempting to just attack. Very, very tempting. The Suicune is faster. I'm actually just going to attack. It guarantees that it gets either Swarm or Guts. But I don't need Garchomp to win this game. Suicune can beat Sizzle. It could also be Heracross 4. Heracross 4 Mega Horn won't kill with Guts or with the Guts or the Swarm boost. Okay. That's fine. It's probably Heracross 3. Should almost always be Sizzle. Yep. So what's the safest path through this? I'm thinking 1 Calm Mind and Surf. I want to minimize the chances I give it Swarm X Sizzle. It might actually be best to just Surf though. Like, the dangerous one is obviously the Swords Dance set. If it's Swords Dance set and it's Swarm, the best thing to do is actually Surf, Calm Mind, Surf. Because then I always dodge Swarm unless I crit on turn 1, and if I crit on turn 1, it's dead on turn 2. That is quite likely to be it. It's definitely not Sizzle 2. Okay. Oh no, Paratrick Shuckle, it's over. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a Dragon Tamer rather than an Ace Trainer. A Jogger with Shuckle. Oh my god, was that a Jogger? Because if it was a Jogger, it was guaranteed to be set free. And I just completely ignored that. Oh no. It doesn't matter, but it matters if I'm playing badly. It was a jogger. That was set free guaranteed then. Stupid for me. I don't think Charizard 4 ever really has an in against Suicune. Not one that I would see coming. Wouldn't see coming, rather. Rain. Why not? So the real tech here is I want to try and force Garchomp in before Tyranitar. Which means I kind of want to kill Charizard with my Garchomp. That will always force the enemy Garchomp in first. And then I don't have to deal with Sandvale. It's actually a little bit tricky. A little bit tricky to make sure that happens on Charizard. Even in rain. Because it could be Charizard free, it could Dragon Claw crit me. And if I substitute, then Charizard 1 and 4 can now kill with a crit Air Slash. Also, Charizard 1 could Scary Face. I don't know. I think I Sword Stance. Of course. Okay. That's not bad. I will just have to, oh, do I have to PP stall? I think I have to PP stall Air Slash. I'll also have to PP stall Flamethrower because I can't switch into a burn. But if I paralyze it, it'll start using Scary Face. I can try and get Garchomp in on a Scary Face miss or on a paralysis turn. Okay. I don't want to go Blissey. I don't want to go Suicune because Suicune will drain Scary Face PP faster. And I want Scary Face to hit. Or be clicked, rather. So paralysis or 10% miss is what I'm after. Smoke screen. That's also bad for me, though. Do I have to play this the long way? Because I can just PP stall it and then I'm guaranteed to win. Well, Garchomp 1 could win the speed tie. Charizard would also have to crit the sub then. There you miss. I believe in you missing. I believe in you missing, Charizard. I believe in it. I could also just set up Suicune. The problem with setting up Suicune is I'm a tiny bit scared of Sandvale Garchomp. If it's Tyranitar 2, it will go Tyranitar 2 before Garchomp against Suicune. Sandvale Garchomp killing everything. Suicune would be fully set up, of course. I'm not actually staying in. I'm just PP stalling it with Suicune. My god, it double crit Suicune. Back-to-back crit while I was asleep. Okay, well that's even more reason to do the ultra safe setup. Yeah, that is why there's nothing I can do about that. That is why still Suicune is not that reliable. Jesus. I do have aromatherapy for burn. I'm not actually scared here. I also have the Lumberry, but that's gone obviously. It's very important I play this correctly with Suicune dead. I've got no safety net. Technically, it is free to go in a smoke screen. Right, smoke screen is a 20 PP move. Let me double check that. Pretty sure it's 20 PP. Yeah, it is. It used 6 against Suicune. Full paralysis here would be huge. Okay. Just think this through carefully. I don't want to lock into Outrage. Unless I'm at least... I don't want to lock into Outrage. I can't risk it being a 2-turn Outrage. So I have to let Charizard die to struggle. It's 153 HP, I believe. Dragon Tame is a 31 IV. Very important, I only substitute right at the end. Do not want to substitute yet because they can't use Outrage. Because they can't afford it to be a 2-turn Outrage. And then Tyranitar kills me when I self-hit. And now I sub. Okay, it didn't crit. That should be GG. Garchomp 1 can't use Sandstorm because it sees a kill with Dragon Claw. So it can't possibly get Sandveil that way. No other Charizard set can do anything, they haven't got items. But that's it. That's it. Ooh, the double back-to-back air/crit. On the turns I was asleep. This place is evil. The whole frontier, it knows. Okay, I've got about half an hour to get to 600, hopefully. Collector's a set 1. Which is, it's good that this is a set 1 trainer because these could be quite scary otherwise. I think I'm going to be against a PI. Was it you or was it you? I can go Blissey. We can go Blissey on slacking. Should be a guaranteed win because slacking 1 is so passive. Okay. I am poisoned. Incoming text message. It's Newman. I should, technically speaking, I should Thunderwave. No. It lived. It lived to +6. I love slacking. Such a dumb Pokemon. Surviving the first match of the round is always huge. It's an idol. Looks like it's Helene or Miranda because these are Pokemon that don't fit into the other descriptions they're set for, basically. Yeah, that Slaking one is... He's a funny guy. Fairly straightforward game. Need to be a tiny bit careful about Dizzy Punch confusion, but that's it. Not scared of Ambipom. I'm actually faster than Lopunny, but I don't want to risk the... I don't want to risk the chance that Outrage doesn't kill it at 21 IVs. It's Trick Room by default, which is fine because I'm going Blissey anyway. I could go for this. Yeah, let's go for that. I was late, but that's fine. It's Miranda. I'm not some cheap idol. I'm not some cheap idol, I'm an actress. So it was frozen. It was Licky Licky frozen. You've successfully paralyzed it, which is likely the end of the game. Got cute charmed, but that's fine. After the seismic, Earthquake kills this. How do I want to play this out? I think I just want to Earthquake this and sort of be done with the game. Because Licky Licky is frozen. So Soft Boiled until it fully paralyzes. And go Suicune. It's now guaranteed to Thunder Punch, so I go Garchomp. I Earthquake. And Ambipom comes out and dies to Outrage. Okay, I will actually respect the chance of Licky Licky critting everything after I only self-hit. A little bit nervous of the Claydol. Little bit nervous of the Claydol. Bum, 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 bum. Just reminding myself what can go wrong against Jolteon. It can, if I Swords Dance, it can get a Shadow Ball drop into crit. Or a double crit. Not very likely, but it can happen. But I get telegraphed on that. It could also be Alakazam in second, not Claydol, and then the setup is useless. It's probably a good idea to immediately get rid of Jolteon either way. Not that worried about Alakazam 1, because although Alakazam 1 can beat Blissey, it can't avoid being Thunder Waved. Items? I don't really want to give you items. Trick Room sounds funny. And I don't mind being frozen because Blissey can come in on Jolteon. Perfect. So that eliminates the threat of Explosion Claydol. It does mean I can't paralyze Alakazam. However, there is no Calm Mind Recover Alakazam set, so Alakazam's on a timer. I think we just attack. Claydol first. That does imply Claydol free a bit. It's actually Claydol 4. Do I want to double Calm Mind or just Surf? It's probably safe to do this way. I don't risk the explosion if I'm wrong about the two-shot. It is Alakazam 1. And it did crit me. The Frontier just reminding me that this could have gone very differently. Okay, at least it's a Glaceon lead on the Ice Trainer. This is not a nice team, though. I definitely need Garchomp alive for Jinx, there's no doubt about that. And I really want Garchomp alive for Walrein in case it's Walrein free. So it's definitely Suicune or Blissey on turn 1. It might be Blissey this time. I'm really scared about Baton Pass again. Is that Burn by default? I'm pretty sure it is. It's either Burn or Random Square for Battle 600. That would be funny. Not many good options that aren't by really bad ones. Yeah, the Burn is actually pretty good. I'm not sure what I'd go for if it wasn't Burn. I think I'd be going for the third row anyway. Okay. I might want to substitute on Glaceon. It's Leader. It's not Opal. I don't want to see you lose. Gosh, the confidence. Run going well. I think I'm biased towards having Suicune get a little bit of setup potential. Ice Beam. Did 41. I think it can be any Glaceon, but it's quite likely to be Glaceon 4 because it didn't double team. No. I didn't do very much. I think it's actually Glaceon 1 or 2. I want as many boosts as possible for Walrein. I don't want to be frozen, of course, but there's not a great way around that. And play around crit and yeah, I knew it wasn't Walrein. I knew it wasn't Glaceon 4. Doesn't have leftovers. This is the arcade. I know it's my fault that the overlay doesn't show up, but the Pokemon in the arcade don't have items. I can take the kill at +2. I think that's worth it. Instead of messing around with potentially being frozen. And it's Jinx in second anyway. I'm just very aware of Jinx 2. It can mean look Perish Song. Therefore I need to surf. Psychic but not Energy Ball. It's Jinx 4. I did a lot there with surf. Ultra Sun double battle tree team. That sounds fun. What are you? You are not Walrein free. It's over. Battle 600. Trying to decide whether or not I think this is a set 4 trainer. I can't know for the battle because there are some overworld sprites that are set 4 like this, and there are some that are not. It's actually a pretty scary fight. I think I'm gonna have to potentially just raw outrage immediately. I do survive the Quagsire for Ice Punch, of course. What scares me slightly is that without Garchomp, Vileplume can go wrong. It is possible. Very unlikely, but possible. Started here. It's going to be Berry. Berry is the best square on the board. Except, I guess if I had free choice, I would choose the Hail square actually. Because of Quagsire. I'm thinking about what to do because I could Earthquake. I might actually Earthquake Quagsire because I think Earthquake into double seismic will kill all of them. Except 2, but 2 doesn't do anything to Garchomp. Hopefully this is Citrus. That's pretty big. Oh, I do want to risk the Swords Dance, but I'm a bit worried about Ice Punch crit and Ice Punch freeze into Garchomp. Oh, it's Elise. haven't done this in a while. I'm actually going to double check the... Because it is only Quagsire 4, right? It is only Quagsire 4. It's an extremely long stall with Suicune if it is water absorb. I think I'm down for it though. Instead of risking a crit. Can check now. Because it does matter on what I do. It's damp, okay. It's very tempting to kill this, because if I kill this, I think the game is kind of over. Slowbro is not coming back into this when I'm at +1. And I don't like Calm Minding and then getting crit by Earthquake. I think it's just kind of over if I do this. Should always be Vileplume in second. They all have grass moves. Weighing up how I feel about switching into an Energy Ball crit. Garchomp would live, but I don't love it. It's kind of free to do this first. It's going to Trick Room, but that's fine. One advantage of Gen 4 over Gen 3 is the fact that this Slowbro is guaranteed to only use Surf and not Psychic. Due to the max roll behavior on the AI. Cowgirl? I'm fine here. More than fine. This is free. It's a free win. Blissey is just OP in general. Doesn't even have to stall. It's just disgusting. It's not right. If there was one balance patch for the Frontier, I think it would be to remove Blissey. Berries aren't going to save them. So what we did last time, where Blissey comes into the Ice Punch, paralyzes Lopunny. Then we heal, goes Suicune, and then Garchomp can come in on the Thunder Punch. I obviously Seismic Toss first to make sure that Lopunny will die to Earthquake. It's fine. They won't. None of them will activate that. It's iCarly. Nice crit. Nice crit. I would like Blissey to be at full HP, but it does not matter too much. The only reason I want that is because of Scum for getting enough crits. What would the Frontier look like without Blissey? Pretty similar, but you just the player wouldn't be able to cheese it as much. The castle would be harder. I do want to go back. I think I'm just going to take the kill. He's actually faster. Just thinking about the X-Bloud, because X-Bloud is also faster than Suicune. If Outrage gives the boost... Yeah. I don't think it ever matters. Because it has to use Hyper Voice. It's either a breeder or a waiter, and I'm pretty sure it's a breeder. I think the waiter overworld sprite is slightly different. But I'll put in all the sets. It's strange you didn't try to freeze Suicune. The AI has to use its strongest move, essentially, unless the other moves have secondary effects. The AI is rather predictable. It will use a move like Ice Beam. So it'll use a move like Icy Wind if it's slower than you. And there's a bit of logic on some other attacks, mostly on status attacks. I might as well go for the Sandstorm here. There is no point not to. It is a waiter. That's Warren. These are the set twos. I've missed. I don't think X's will break the substitute very often. It doesn't, which makes this very easy for me. No free turner. Hooray. What do you want, Joey? Is it really? In top percentage. It's funny how being in the top percentage in terms of IVs is not even a very good thing. It only makes you look like you got quite good IVs. If we're taking things as a literal uniform distribution on every IV and every stat. Anyway. Is anyone playing the Frontier for me to raid? Someone's playing in French. But I don't want to embarrass myself with how bad my French is. Anyone playing Frontier on the Platinum? 1v1 Joey. You think Joey has the secret tech to beat Blissey. He got Toxic Endeavor. Oh, no one plays these games anymore. What is this? I got a tiny bit excited, but then I realized that was my stream that I was looking at. I was like, oh, someone's playing Frontier, but no. No, I fooled myself. Oh well. Well, like I said at the beginning of the stream, Pike developments, quite exciting. New glitch. New Pike bug, whatever you want to call it, found. Discovered. And I think it makes Heracross slightly better. I'm actually going to use Heracross. We're going to use Hidden Power Bug Heracross. Unless I forget to add it to Emerald, and then we won't use it. But we'll find out on Wednesday whether or not I remember. Yeah. Also want to shout out Zarion is playing Emerald Tower. He'll be streaming it tomorrow. He's at 600 wins or something with his team. I'll link that in the Discord if I see it. As always, the Frontier links. I link to all the Frontier streams I know about in the Discord. So feel free to check that out.